talk about the Crescent City series. I just finished House of Flame and Shadow. It took me 2 weeks to read this series, which is probably longer than it should have taken. But I did read them consecutively, so I feel like maybe I have a little bit of a different point of view than the people who have read them as they have come out. So here is my review of the Crescent City series. I actually think the book House of Flame and Shadow is the best of the three. I rated all of these books 4 stars, and I feel like that's fair because I didn't love any of them, but I did think this one was the best, which I thought was surprising because a lot of people did not like this book. I feel like this one had the most consistent action. I didn't feel like there was anywhere where it just kind of flatlined and nothing was happening, whereas in these two, I felt like there was multiple moments in both of these books where the plot just was flatlined, plateaued, nothing's happening, we're not adding anything to the plot. There's things happening, but we're not getting anywhere, you know what I mean? And so it was kind of I wish we could do without those parts. These books would be a lot shorter, and I felt like majority of the information was necessary, but why, in both of these books at least, was everything in the last 100 pages. I know that's kind of how a lot of these books work, but you're giving me a 600, 700 page book and you're waiting till the last 100 pages to piece everything together. No, I don't know. Yeah, no. These don't need to be that long if you're going to wait that length of the book to actually give us something, you know? The ACOTAR crossover in this book was the best part of the book, and I love the connections between all 3 worlds. I haven't probably made all of them. My brain is too small for that, but the ACOTAR crossover is super interesting, and then Lydia's lineage or heritage is really cool, really interesting. It happens in this book, and I wish it was explored a little bit more. I wish we got a little bit more detail on that, but it was really cool to see. I will say the world building in this is so intense. It is so much harder and complex than ACOTAR or Throne of Glass. It is a lot. It is a lot to follow, especially with the ACOTAR crossover. There's just so many pieces to the puzzle, and I haven't even put them all together. Since the last series I read before this one was Throne of Glass, I was really trying to connect Throne of Glass and Crescent City, and I couldn't. Because ACOTAR crossed over into the Crescent City series, it was a little bit easier to make the connections. It made more sense, but me trying to connect this to Throne of Glass wasn't connecting I feel like it should have. Other than Lydia's lineage and the mention of word, and then the phase shifters. So I'm assuming the phase shifters came from the Throne of Glass world. I don't know. So I'm the connection to the Throne of Glass series for me isn't all the way there. So I'm just interested to see what happens. It's so complicated. This really is complicated. Sarah J. Maas's brain is obviously huge. I can't believe she has this in her brain because, like I said, this world building is extremely intense, slightly overwhelming, and for me, it was harder to follow. And maybe it was harder to follow because I'm trying to connect all the pieces from the other series. So that could make it harder to follow, but I do think truly it was just super intense. And look how big these books are. It's only 3 of them. They're all about the same size, and all of it is just intense world building and connections throughout the entire all of them. And so it's a lot. It is a lot of information. That might be why it's my least favorite series. The information is extremely overwhelming. The urban fantasy part of it, I think it's cool. But I don't know. It will be interesting to see in the 4th book, first of all, what will be the plot? What will be the conflict? Maybe we have to wait so long for the 4th book because there might be another world crossover from maybe her new series that she will be writing as well. So I don't know, it'd be interesting to see what the fourth book entails. Without giving anything away, I can't decide if the ending of this was underwhelming or not to me, and I feel like maybe that's a lot of the reason why people didn't really like it, because I feel like a lot of people felt like it was okay, because maybe it wasn't the ending that they were expecting. I think that I'm in between. Like, I'm feeling indifferent about it. Like, I think it was good. I liked it, what was happening, but maybe it could have been a little bit more intense. Maybe it felt a little rushed to me. I feel like maybe it was kind of pieced together with a bunch of point of views. So with all that said, this entire series is a genuine 4 stars for me. It wasn't a super addicting series. It's definitely my least favorite in the Sarah J. Maas universe, but still really good. Still really good. I mean, it's Sarah J. Maas. I mean, come on, guys. She can't do much wrong. And I don't think that this is a bad series. I think it's good. It's just not as good as her other series, in my opinion. But maybe that's because it's just different. It is genuinely different, and it's a lot of damn information. It is very overwhelming. So it's like an information dump in all 3 books, in my opinion. So it's a lot. I will be so interested to see about the 4th book. It seems like we have to wait a while for the 4th book, and I feel like maybe that's because she is coming out with a new series, I'm pretty sure. I think that might be rumor, but I think we all are aware that there's another series that's probably being drawn up, and I wonder if the 4th book will entail a crossover of that new series, because I'm not sure the direction the 4th book would be going conflict-wise. I wouldn't be surprised if the next ACOTAR book had some crossover with the Crescent City series. I think that would be cool. I think it also would make sense to me, and I'm interested to see what the Sarah J. Maas future holds. I'm also excited to see what the Crescent City world holds for their future, and I hope we get a glimpse of that before the 4th book, maybe. So I'm excited to see what she has in store